Alright, y'all. I am just now walking out of the cinema after watching How to Train Your Dragon. And yeah, DreamWorks' very first live action remake. Let's see if they make any more after this. So, yeah, since it's a remake, y'all are probably curious as to what I thought of the original How to Train Your Dragon, which, until this week, I have not seen it since I was a kid. Like, I was 8 years old when the original How to Train Your Dragon came out, so, yeah, I was not able to remember it very well. I remember the characters, and I remember the dragons. Like, of course, that's what I'm gonna remember. But I didn't really remember how the story went, so I actually rewatched it on Monday, I think, just so I could refresh my memory on it, and it definitely takes the cake as my favorite DreamWorks film. Like, yeah, I know a lot of people usually say Shrek. I mean, Shrek is a great film. I do really love that one. But I would not consider it a flawless film, to be honest. How to Train Your Dragon, though, with its fast pacing, beautiful animation, and phenomenal score done by John Powell, it just really gets me hooked. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, I don't think any other DreamWorks animation film has gotten me as engaged as How to Train Your Dragon. Like, not even Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, and that's definitely my second favorite from DreamWorks Animation. Yeah, like I was saying with Lilo and Stitch, like, Chris Sanders definitely makes some of the best animated films. And yeah, now that I've refreshed my memory on the original How to Train Your Dragon, not only did it become my favorite DreamWorks film, but definitely one of my top 10 favorite movies of all time. Like man, that movie gives me chills. So yeah, I talked about the original. Let's talk about the remake, which I gotta admit, I was a bit skeptical about it. Because, yeah, I remember when I saw the trailers, it just looked like it was going to be a shot-for-shot remake, and those usually annoy me. Like, I saw the Psycho remake, and my god, was that pointless. But, yeah, to my surprise, I kind of like the remake. Well, it's nowhere near a cinematic masterpiece as the original How to Train Your Dragon. But I will say I was pleasantly surprised. Because I mean, yeah, it is the same story, but it does tell it in a different way. Oh, hey. It does tell it in a different way, which is very interesting. And I mean, some of the change, it does have some stuff that I don't like. Like, yeah, I don't like that Astrid is brunette instead of blonde. But, I mean, for the most part, the actress does do a good job. Like, she does pull off Astrid's wittiness and, shit like that. And, the guy who plays, Hiccup, I mean, he's not as charming as, say, Jay Baruchel, but I mean, I will say he's pretty damn close. I mean, he definitely acts like he definitely acts like Hiccup pretty damn well, Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, another thing to go on about is the casting definitely feels right. I mean, yeah, aside from Astrid. Even though I do think she did a good job. Like, yeah, the guy they got for Hiccup, it definitely feels right. Like, it felt like I was looking at a live-action version of Hiccup. Like, that's exactly what I imagined. Kind of like what I was saying about how Stitch looked. Like, that's exactly how I would picture live-action Hiccup being. And, it's especially great that they got Gerard Butler to come back as Stoic. So, I mean, yeah. he nailed Stoic in the original. So getting him in the remake definitely is a plus. And then I also really like that that Snotlout has a story arc where he's trying to impress his father, like trying to get his father's attention. Like, it makes sense because I could totally see Snotlout experiencing something like that. And it actually did manage to make me laugh a few times. Like, it definitely had some good jokes. And oh yeah, I also wanted to say Nick Frost as Gobber. My God, is that great cast? Like, again, the casting feels right. Like yeah, Nick Frost as Gobber, that makes sense. So those of y'all that don't know who he is, he usually does films with Simon Pegg. You know, they've worked together on Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz and Paul. But yeah, that's who played Gobber. And he's definitely really good in this. He's really funny as Gobber. Yeah, I also like when they decide who's going to the trial of fire, and Gobber points at Hiccup. He has like a wooden thumbs up thing. That was really funny. I really like that. I can't really think of many other things to say that I liked. So, yeah, let's get into the stuff that does bother me. So, I mean, yeah, even though it is told in a uniquely different way, it still does bother me that it is the same story. So, like, I could predict everything that was happening because, you know, I've seen the original. Because, like, yeah, even with the scene where we find out Toothless protected Hiccup from the Queen exploding, it's like, yeah, I knew he was still going to be alive because, I mean, that was how the original ended. But I will say, with the acting from Gerard Butler and the chick who played Astrid, it did get me kind of teary-eyed, I will say. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. I will also say it does bother me that Toothless is the only dragon who looks exactly like the original version. I mean, yeah. I do like how all the other dragons look a lot more realistic. Like, it's just that the way it's just that the fact that Toothless looks just like the original animated version of himself, it bothers me, to be honest. And then, oh yeah, you remember that scene where they had, like, where Toothless took Astrid flying around on, well, Hiccup took Astrid flying around on Toothless, you know, like the little romantic scene they have. And you remember that transition where Toothless flies into the clouds and it transitions from day to night? It's definitely not done as good in this one. So, yeah, I was just like, oh, come on, you could have done better than that. And, yeah, I really don't know what else to say. I had my doubts, but in the end, I ended up kind of liking it. So, yeah. I think that should do it for my thoughts on How to Train Your Dragon. For my final rating, I give it a 7 out of 10. Nowhere near being a cinematic masterpiece, just like the original, but it still ended up being a pretty damn good remake. So, yeah. That should do it for my review. Thank y'all so much for watching. Let me know what y'all thought of How to Train Your Dragon if y'all saw it, and I'll see y'all real soon.